Running for the past 7 years. So it's been moving around. We've hosted it in Kimberley. We've hosted it in Joburg multiple times. And then last year it was our first time in Cape Town.
Okay.
And since Cape Town is treating us well, we're going back there. So that's where we're taking back the tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how's it been? Because you've been doing it for a couple of years. What's the growth looking like? Is there more, interaction from the fans? Because I think freestyling is a very niche one. It's a niche sport because not everyone is really privy to the sport itself. We're not all watching it. But how have you seen the growth of it within the country?
I think it's been growing in such an instance that we've had some of our top guys going to compete abroad and stuff like that now with more of a proper structure, and guys just having opportunities to work within the industry and stuff like that. For the viewers, such platform giving us an opportunity to talk about the sport actually exposes the sport to say, you know what, this is the sport. More and more people can actually see the sport. And the more they see it, I always feel like you just need to see freestyle once, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Just as much as when you're watching it from live or on the videos, and then it just grows. And also with the brands which are supporting the sports, they just keep on getting better and better and better.
Ash, you're a former three-time champion, right? So, you're not just the president who's come from we don't know where. It's not political. Yeah. You come from within the sport itself.
The spiciness on this table.
I want to ask you as an athlete, right? As somebody who actually partook in competing, how much time do you guys dedicate to training, right? On a daily basis or on a weekly basis? And how difficult is it at this point of the sport to continue come up with new skills? Because I imagine in my mind that everything has been done and maybe you are improving on what's been done. How are guys still stretching the boundaries of the skills that they can put forward?
I think, when you sit down and you look at it, when I used to train, I would break down my training into 6 hours. I trained 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours later on.
Sure.
And that was me going to a championship, to a competition. Those were things which motivated me because I'd be training an hour or two in generally. But once I know that, I'm going to Nigeria, the African Championship is coming, then my training would intensify. So also, I think it's best when you're training, when you watch other guys, because this thing is, you don't know anyone in most cases. You think, I'm the first one to do this. When you arrive at the World Championship, boom, how? I'm not the first one. This thing is being done left, right, and center.
Yeah.
So it's hard coming up with new tricks, but the more you practice, the more you feel like, okay, if I put it here, what would happen if I put it on the left? That's how you come up with most tricks, because at the sport, you'd find that there's an alternative to every trick. So I'll make an example. There's an around the world, there's an alternative around the world. And then, which means it's a reverse of what you just put it. Side stalls, you put it on the left, you put it on the right. Same with around the world. You do one, you do two, triple, just like that.
So in terms of the competitions, so if you arrive at the competition, you have a routine, or I would imagine. And then if you see somebody doing something similar to the routine you had planned, does that make you go, I need to change things up right here, right now?
I think it does, but also because this is freestyle and it's how you present the trick, because we could do the same thing, but it will never look the same. Execution is different, a little bit of attitude and how you do the trick, I could be smiling, you could be sweating. So obviously how it looks to the judges as well. So the routines are there, and that's how we usually rank freestylers, because this is open to everyone. What we would then do is, say someone comes in and maybe we've never seen the freestyler. They would have watched the podcast and seen, it's happening in Cape Town, let me come.
Yeah.
When they arrive, we give everybody 2 minutes to showcase, to say, show us what you made of, let's see. Then we are able to rank the guys to say, okay, this.
It's like Chiga back in the day.
Yeah, 100%.
Except this is more skilled.
With the football.
I saw a short video of a promo video for the competition that's upcoming, and I got so excited to see a lady there. And I know that the competition there's also a couple of ladies that are into freestyling. But tell me more about that and the reception, number one, of females and how many. Okay, you obviously can't say how many they are, but is there a growing interest among females as well?
There is a growing interest amongst females. I think with proper support and, you know, because what I always tell people is it took me about 6 months to do my first trick. So in the past...
Explain that, Ashley.
Yeah, so I'll show you where I'm going with this. That in terms of ladies, the ladies are there, the interest is there, it's just that they need support. So when I started freestyle, it took me about 6-7 months just to do my first trick because I didn't know what I was doing, how I was doing. For the past 2 years, I've been training a lady by the name of Angelique. So what I knew, which took so long, I trained her in such an instant that she lost in the finals of the African Championship.
Wow.
And then she went back to win the African Championship, which was a first for any African because the most I've ever gotten was also in the finals. So, but with that guidance, we're trying to tell these other freestylers to say, if you spot a lady or someone who can, support them because you know how hard it is doing something without having proper coaching. That's the whole thing.
And I mean, if you're going to spend 6 hours a day, then it needs a lot of commitment as well.
Exactly.
We're gonna touch on the brands in a few, but before we get to that, you mentioned that you've trained this lady to get to a point where she reaches the final. So let's say I'm Obi. I've spent 6 months trying to get this, you know, trick. I know how to freestyle. I want to get to the South African freestyle championships. How do I then get to Africa and then eventually to the world?
All right, so that's the whole platform. So in these competitions, you also get world ranking points. So there are point systems which you get, and then once you win, obviously we then say, what's the next stage? You move into the African Championship, into the Intercontinental. So the people who win, they tend to get an opportunity to travel with me to these countries. I'll make an example. When Angelique won the previous year, when she won the South African Championship, and then she won the African Championship, I had to go with her to Kenya, which was hosting the World Champs, and then she represented the whole of Africa at the World Championships. So that's how it goes about and it elevates.
And how far would you say we are as a country when it comes, because now you took her to the World Champs in Kenya. Are we, in terms of the world competition?